Symbiosis would be any relationship where two species live closely together and interact. The origin of the word symbiosis is Greek and originated between 1615 and 1625. The prefix "sym" refers to the variant stem, while the root "bio" means to live. The suffix "cis" refers to a certain process, state, or condition.
The three main types of symbiotic relationships are commensalism, parasitism, and mutualism. These three relationships are essential to the sustainability of all organisms. This video highlights the first symbiotic relationship, commensalism.
So we're in the ocean of Southeast Asia, getting ready to search for a fish that lives in a place so dangerous that most other fish won't even come near it. Ready? Let's go diving. And after a bit of searching, I finally found it. The clownfish, or anemone fish as it's also called. The beautiful tentacles of the anemone are actually deadly to most fish. The tentacles have stinging organs called nematocysts, which fire tiny darts into fish that brush by. This stinging ability protects anemones from predators and helps them capture prey for food.
In commensalism, one species benefits while the other organism is unharmed. An obvious example of this would be the clownfish and the sea anemone. Unlike most fish, clownfish are able to benefit from the sea anemone because it provides housing and shelter while no damage is done to the actual sea anemone. This example, although accurate, isn't as up close and personal. So let's talk about parasitism. In the symbiotic relationship parasitism, one organism benefits while the other is harmed. A great example of this in real time would be the mosquito and the human.
Parasitism benefits one species while the other is harmed. Like ticks, for example. There are many examples here in the ocean. Take parasitic fish lice, for example, that cling to a host fish and feed on its body fluids. Amazingly, fish will sometimes find a cleaner fish or a cleaner shrimp to help remove the parasites from their scales.
In the symbiotic relationship parasitism, there are two different types of parasites. Ectoparasites are external parasites that live on the outside of the host. Three examples would be ticks, fleas, and mosquitoes. Endoparasites are internal parasites. They live inside the host's body. Three examples would be bacteria, protists, and tapeworms.
In the following video, you will witness the gruesome effects of the mosquito on a pregnant woman.
A mosquito-borne virus is sweeping through many Central and South American countries. Current estimates place the number of Zika cases over 1 million in Brazil alone. And in response to the outbreak, the CDC has implemented 2 new travel bans to an already large list for pregnant women, one on the United States Virgin Islands and the other on the Dominican Republic. The ban is for pregnant women specifically because since the epidemic started, the incidences of microcephaly, a devastating birth defect, have skyrocketed. Microcephaly is a condition where a baby is born with a small head. Because the head is so small in those born with the condition, the brain is small too, meaning it's underdeveloped, which can cause a whole range of other health issues, like cognitive deficits, seizures, feeding problems, vision problems, and hearing loss. Unfortunately, there's no cure for the condition, only treatments for its effects. Microcephaly is typically seen in rates of about 2 in 10,000 births, according to a study published in the journal Birth Defects Research. But nearly 4,000 cases have been reported in Brazil since October. That's nearly 26 times the normal rate. And researchers strongly suspect that the birth defect is linked to the Zika virus. Now, this epidemic seemed to have come out of nowhere. The mosquito that carries the virus was pretty much eradicated in Brazil in the 1950s. But as the decades wore on, it made its way back. Then, last year, reports of Zika in Brazil started popping up. It wasn't taken too seriously since its symptoms in adults are mild.
The symbiotic relationship mutualism occurs when both organisms benefit. Some examples of mutualism would be the spider crab and the algae. The spider crab lives on the shallow ocean floor. The algae lives on the crab. The algae helps the crabs blend in, and the algae get a good place to live. Thank you for watching our video on symbiotic relationships.